everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Keep Behind Me Now Stay There. Today we have on Sergio Magana. Sergio, so good to see you again. We saw you last year.
Yeah.
When you were here.
It looked like yesterday.
It does look like, well, you look like yesterday. I look like they aged a few years. I must be having bad dreams, you know?
Probably, yeah.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
No, but you don't look as a bad dream. Don't worry.
Well, I understand. You have you're here in Ashland. We're in Ashland, Oregon, right now, and you are going to be doing a workshop on the obsidian mirror.
Obsidian mirror, yeah.
Obsidian mirror, and for all of our listeners out there and our viewing audience, talk a little about the obsidian mirror. You know what it means, and you know.
Yeah. Obsidian, it's like a volcanic rock that is black. For the ancient tradition of Mexico, the first energy, in order to create, had to reflect herself or himself. So, to create like a subject and an object. And for the tradition, all these creation, you, me, are in the mirror. So it's the place where everything is like kind of reflecting. So they call it Tezcatlipoca, that means a smoking mirror, because we are all, for the tradition, in the mirror, but we are so fascinated by, like, hypnotized by the reflection, that we have believed that we are this one, and we have forgot the one that reflects. So for the tradition, it's like the most sacred object. To stop not just being the reflection, and to begin being again the one that reflects and the reflection.
Okay, so if I'm following you, it's like you look at the obsidian mirror, or like with all people. This is just like, I'm from a layman's point of view. I'm thinking, okay, so when I look in the mirror, I'm believing the reflection.
Yeah.
Instead of like, you know, who I really am.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm this person, but when I look in that mirror, you know, the mirror tells me, okay, you're this person.
But if you think no one knows who really is, what you know about you, at least your face and those things, you only know your reflection.
Exactly. It's like the, you know, like if you look in a well, you know, and you see your reflection, what you see is only on the surface.
Yeah, and it's quite deep, because even we only know our reflection, and our reflection, for example, your right hand is your left, so it's in reverse.
Right.
So that makes like for the tradition, they believe that this reality is quite tricky.
Oh, okay.
So, and for us it's so important, because we say where we created, because all what we think it's our reality is only is that reflection. So, so we say where you created is where you can destroy it, in the mirror. So the exercises that we do in the mirror are very deep. You enter very deep through breathing in an altered state of consciousness. And the first thing that you learn in the mirror is, with open eyes of course, is to disappear your reflection.
Oh, I see.
And to see only the darkness of the mirror. That for us is like the essence, the primary essence of the individual beings. So it's to see who you really are. And then you begin like changing the reflection and doing wonderful things. Even to find who you are in the dreams, the animal, and all those things. Sometimes you are in the mirror and your face disappears and it transforms into an animal.
Now that is fascinating, because I like the idea of, like, you know, you're looking in the mirror and you take away the reflection, you know, or the facade that we all, you know, put on for the outside world, for lack of a better word, and then and then you start seeing like your inner self, right? And then now this is where and listen, folks, this is where I was like, you know, the animal part about it, you know, I don't get it. So I mean, I think it's really, you know, fascinating. But were you saying like when you see your true self, like there's like an animal that you or that you
not
you
always.
associate?
The true self is nothing.
Oh, okay.
So that's the first.
Well, I've got that covered.
Yeah. Okay. Look, that's the first exercise in the mirror is to learn to disappear your face and to see nothing. And it's quite deep because a lot of people, for example, with disappearing your face and the reflection, you can disappear the idea of who you think you are. If you think that you are sick, if you think that you have this problem or that history, you can disappear it in the mirror. And a lot of people have healed themselves just disappearing in the mirror and going to the primary essence. But then, for us, what we call the Nahual, that is a word that Carlos Castaneda made very popular.
Mm-hmm.
Nahual comes from the Nahuatl, that was the ancient language of the Aztecs and Toltecs. The Newa, that means I, who really I am. So if you, we can say that the real truth is that we are that energy that is nothing, the darkness in the mirror.
Right.
But in a second level, we can begin seeing like an energy that is like a kind of hologram of yourself. That hologram transforms and changes, and sometimes it changes into an animal.
And does this happen to you?
Yeah, of course.
And what animal are you?
Okay. No, because for example, for us in a while.
I mean, does it change? Like, you know.
You can use
Does it change? Is it always the same animal, or is it?
Okay. For example, by calendar,
Mm-hmm.
because in the Aztec calendar, in the study that we call Tonalama, you have like a favorite animal that your Nahual takes. That, for example, for me it's a spider. But in the mirror, for example, I have a Nahuatl name. I am Sergio in Christian. It's my Christian name, but my Nahuatl name is Ocelocoyotl. That means coyote jaguar. I got that name from the mirror because I was watching my image and I said, or the energy, how should I be named? And it's very interesting because from the eyes turn like kind of red, and then it makes the shape of the animal, so it make a clear coyote. And then I said, okay, that's the only one, or I should take two, and then it appeared a jaguar. So, and those are, it's very interesting because those are the Nahuales of Tezcatlipoca, of the ruler of the mirror.
Oh, okay.
So I chose both.
So you chose wisely.
Yeah. For going to the mirror and to the dreaming state, yeah. But it's very impressive to see it.
Obviously, I haven't seen it. I would love to do this one time and see, what happens. But speaking of your workshops, I know you're here in Ashland. You're doing a workshop here in Ashland.
Yeah.
And you were recently in Italy, right?
Yeah, I was in Italy. Yeah.
And we're going to say hello to everyone in Italy. Big audience out there.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Tutti italiani. Amici.
You are like going like all around the world, so this is pretty fascinating. That this is not just a thing that came out of Mexico City or something that's going on in the Southwest United States. It's going on all over the world.
Yeah, it was like a prophecy. The last ruler of the Aztec Empire, like Cuauhtémoc, he said like a last speech before Tenochtitlan fell. That he said, hide this treasure, our knowledge, because with the sixth sun, it's going out, and it is going to be needed, and it's going to be spread. So the sixth sun started like in 1991, but the main period started last year. So and here comes like the prophecy from the prophecy. I was studying all these things in Mexico City, But a lot of people then thinks that in Mexico a lot of people do these things. Of course not. Almost all the Mexicans are Catholics, and this wisdom is, for example, I was last the 12th, the 12th of March in the celebration of the New Year, of the Aztec New Year.
Right.
And we were like 500 people. So I said, we are so few, the keepers of the tradition. Imagine if a country of 130 million, 500 people just celebrating the New Year.
Right, that is fascinating because most people in Mexico are Catholic, but it's that didn't happen until the advent of the Spanish and the conquistadors and Cortez. Before that, everyone was Mayan or Aztec.
Yeah, no, I know, but now these practices are are not very are not done, but a lot of people still. Now it's beginning to grow. But, for example, one of my teachers, like 10 years ago, told me, not 10 years, like 7, he told me, after the eclipse of July of 2010, the Mexica wisdom is going to spread out around the world, and you will be one of the carriers. And I said, okay. I didn't I didn't doubt it. But just before that eclipse, I began being invited everywhere in the world, not everywhere, but a lot of countries to spread this. So I said, he saw this, and I asked them. I saw him like 3 months ago, and I said, well, how did you know? He said me, I dreamt it.